Hey guys, Jen here. I have a couple of videos planned for both channels. A little more of my testimony and some discussion about consent. It's very, very important that you understand, read up on, research on, and verbalize your own consent or lack thereof, or rescinding of such consent. That's vital in these times. I don't know if what we're going through is the tribulation, but I'll tell you this, and a lot of people aren't going to like this message, and I know that. I'll lose subs again, and I'm fine with that. That's not what bothers me at all. And I debated a few things here, but let me just state a few things. I've said for years that we need to, those of us who are seeking a spiritual path and wanting to be better people overall, those of us who recognize that we made mistakes and take ownership and responsibility for those mistakes, which I do, and I have. It would be nice if other people took accountability for their part in things, and I know a lot of you feel the same, and a lot of you are wanting justice just like I am, and a lot of you are here just because you want to learn new and different ways that you can torment me. I understand that my enemies watch the channel and that they intercept my communications. That's been going on for a long, long time. Understand that that's against the law, and if you are a part of that, you are an accessory to a crime. There's only a crime if there's a victim. This is why they want to get rid of the word victim. And this is why, again, I've preached and preached about studying etymology and the history of words. They want to get rid of the word victim, because if you get rid of the word victim, then you have no crime, okay? Then people can do whatever they want. This is what all of this is about. This is what getting rid of the age of consent is about. This is what getting men into women's bathrooms was all about. This is about letting one gender do whatever they want to another gender and having that be okay, because nobody can stand up against this other gender because they are quote unquote protected. That's what all of these acts are about. And I'm a human being. I am free. I am sovereign under God. I am allowed to speak my opinion, just like an editorial piece. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not giving medical advice. I would not give medical advice. This is a spiritual channel. I also believe in science, and Tesla also told us scientists would do well to study the invisible, that which is unseen. We cannot see the wind, but we know it is there. Therefore, I have an opinion on what is happening in this world, in this society that I was born into, and I did not ask nor approve of, nor did I ask to be a part of, regardless of what anyone says. And I am a victim because I was made a victim. Therefore, a crime has been committed against me, more than one crime. I have been violated. My body has been violated. My drinks have been altered. My food has been altered. My communications intercepted. I've been isolated, secluded. The list goes on and on. It's not just me, though. And this is what I hope to convey to people, and this is the purpose of the channel. Do your research. Number one, they have told us for years. Richie from Boston started it. # I do not consent. He told us this is how they operate. They show you things with signs and symbols. They might not tell you the truth. They might not tell you who they are, but they will show you through signs and symbols. And they have been showing us all along. And he said to declare, I do not consent. Why? And I'm going to tell you this right now. There were people pushing the Bible at me that had no business pushing it. What do I mean by that? Think and use your brains, because it is frustrating seeing in the comment section comments that have nothing to do with what I'm speaking about. Not that I won't answer or reply, but I'm saying I'm trying to help people here and potentially save lives. And I know that seems extreme to some people, but that's the truth. We are in a time of persecution. Any independent thinkers, anyone that does not go along with what is trending or the majority, anyone who says no, who has the stamina to just say no. Nancy Reagan taught us that. Just say no. As a child, I was taught not to say no. For years and years, it was beat out of me. Don't say no. Don't deny. If a man wants, something physical out of you, it's better to give it to him than it is to end up with broken body parts or worse, dead. That's what I was taught. That it was better to just give it up than to die. So in certain instances, I've done that too. There have been many crimes committed against the feminine, the divine feminine in this time, especially for whatever reason. And again, this is because those in control think of us as cattle and breeders. Those of us who no longer are able to conceive are on the list of deplorables, of those to be persecuted. And you know what persecution leads to, okay? I hope I don't have to spell that out for everybody, because it seems like people have totally lost their intelligence and critical thinking. People shouldn't have to spell things out for you to come to a logical conclusion. And yes, I'm mad because this is my world too. My children are in it too, and I do not consent to any of the shenanigans that are happening right now. So people pushed the Bible for years and years, and I couldn't figure out why certain people pushed it, and then all of a sudden they didn't read it anymore, and they didn't go to church anymore. Why is this going on? Well, I just found a channel. Lovely lady. Eva F. IEVAF. Go find her. She's a Christian channel. She stopped producing videos about 2 years ago, roughly. Right after she got married and had babies, and you could see in the one video she says she was being tormented, and I believed her because I was going through a lot of very similar things. But now I searched her out so I could resubscribe, and it looks like she has an ASMR channel. Let's make no bones about it here. And I used to listen to them too and fall asleep to them. But I want to be real clear. ASMR in the middle of the videos, that gets into hypnotism territory. And I'll be really blunt here. They are doing witchcraft in YouTube videos, and it is affecting you. Have you noticed that a lot of the camping videos, a lot of the camping guys, suddenly they're cutting their fingers in the video? That's called blood over intent, and we're going to talk about that too in a separate video. And persecution is coming to anyone who did not vote a certain way that the majority wanted people to vote. Okay? It's coming to independent thinkers. It is coming to those who again, are loyal to their nation, who are nationalists, who don't have globalist thinking potential. Okay? It is coming to anyone who cannot conceive and anyone who is a Christ follower. Why Christ followers, I'm not sure, but I honestly think it's just because in the end of the Bible, they assume that you're consenting to it, and it's just more people to be able to get rid of. In Revelation, that's basically everyone. They assume that by following Christ, you are giving consent to be a sacrifice of some kind. And what we're looking at, what I believe is happening behind the scenes, is possible GENCIDE. That's what I think it is. And I'll hashtag that in the comments. Something else I want to talk about. Be very careful of what you drink and eat. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I have worked in healthcare. I'm speaking about my personal experience. I started finding Visine next to the toothpaste in my toothbrushes, and I couldn't figure out why I was getting these headaches. And suddenly it hit me because my mom had died of a massive heart attack. So I Googled it. I'm going to do a video about it probably, and I'll include a link below. Household items. Everybody's wondering why people are having cardiac arrest. It has nothing to do with the cocktail that's going around, or maybe it does, and that's all the cocktail is comprised of. There are certain things that we are seriously misinformed about, but because I am in the thick of it, I have come to knowledge of certain things. And let me tell you one last thing. Everybody thinks these elitists are plastered all over the television. Let me ask you, if you were an elitist and you knew that you were wanting to, if you were, let's say, a leftover Nazi from Project Paperclip, which I think runs our entire nation, and I'll explain that in another video. Things aren't anything that you think they are, folks. I know they watch my communications because if I mention aliens, I get gaslit about aliens. If I mention reptilians, they start talking about reptilians around me. And if I mention fallen angels, then they go to that agenda. Why? Because they're looking to scare me. Why? Because fear gets your heart rate going. Okay? Follow me here. Come to the logical conclusion. We're seeing a lot of cardiac arrests on the field, young people. Doesn't take a genius to put one and one together. Household items, regular household items that you have in your home can make that happen. And there's proof of this. There have been cases all over the United States for the last several years. People have went to jail for it before. But as of 2019, we're living in a lawless nation. And again, you don't have to believe me, but I'm literally trying to save lives here. I am actually trying to save lives. And I'm being crucified for it. I've lost everything that matters to me because I've spoken out about this stuff. Because let me tell you this, the elites are not on television. Do you think that a Nazi wants you to see their face and know who they are? No. They're not going to show you their real face. Ever. The elites, the ones running the show, they are people you pass every day. They want to walk the streets with anonymity. They know you'd want to lynch them and you'd have every right to. They're never going to show their faces, guys. The people that we see on the screen, those are paid actors. People they literally pay to pretend to be, a character. The ones who run things, we will never see their faces. But I'm telling you, they're regular people in your town, my town, all over. All over. And we let it go on every day. All you got to do is talk to somebody. If they get mad that you're not agreeing with them, well then, they might be a leftover, from Project Paperclip. And that's really at the bottom of all this. Like I said, I've done enough experimentation now that I know whatever I talk about, I text about, I email about with somebody, that's what the people around me, and understand I have no people around me anymore but my family that I live with. This is my family doing this to me. My own blood. And I fell down. They made me fall down. They put me in situations that were tempting. You know what I mean? They put the temptations there. I should have said no. I should have been stronger. I should not have swayed to peer pressure, but I did. And it was wrong of me. But it was very wrong of them, what they've done and what they continue to do to this day. This is my punishment, I suppose, for opening my mouth. And the big C, that plague, that illness that's been around for years now, that's killed most of my family, that's not acquired how you think it is either. The big C can be given to people. And again, you don't have to believe me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. This is my opinion from life experience. I can be wrong. There's no crime in being wrong. Okay? There's no danger here. People think with their own minds. And let's use Google real quick so you can see, and I won't say a word. Wait. You see what I'm typing in there? Right there. New York Times, 2020. Lana Sue Clayton was sentenced to 25 years in prison after she added eye drops to her husband's drinks in such large amounts that the active chemical killed him. Let me tell you something else. I'm pretty sure jails aren't what they say they are either. If you ever watched Orange is the New Black, and I know it's a television show, but it led me somewhere recently, and so did studying Freemasonry. If their color is orange and jails are privately owned corporations, then they run the jails. So if they get in trouble, it's really no thing to them to pose for a picture, dress up in an orange jumpsuit, and then go off to wherever they want. Who's going to check that they're actually in jail? And this is the world we live in, folks. You don't have to believe me. But start putting two and two together. They've been telling us for years on YouTube. These are new conclusions I realize that I'm telling you about. But so, this is nothing new. It's very easy to do. And again, I don't think there is any such cocktail that they're putting in people right now. I think it's a psyop. Right there. 2021, North Carolina. Huh, aren't those the same? Isn't that the same state? South Carolina, North Carolina. I'll include a couple of links. Arkansas. Tina Glasgow. There's the active ingredient and what it's called. Okay? Actually, I bought special tea. Cinnamon is supposed to lower your heart rate. And I got a special tea just for that I drink in the evenings. I don't let anyone else get my drinks anymore. I got a little lazy for a while, but I've started getting headaches again. So I'm going to have to start again watching what I eat and drink. At this point, it doesn't even matter because I don't really have a life. But we're supposed to guard ourselves and guard our lives. And I'm hoping that either soon God delivers me or somebody cares enough to be a friend to me and at least give me a ride so that Sammy and I don't have to walk to another state out of here. 2020, Joshua Hunsucker. Where was that? There's another one. It just continues. It looks like there's 3 or 4 at least. But yeah, I wanted you guys to know that this is and this one used it to get an insurance payout, and that's what I think is the other spoke in the wheel that we're seeing here. And understand this has many spokes to this wheel. It's not just one thing happening now. People are cashing in. Have you noticed, if somebody passes away and you're noticing like certain things are being acquired, and then all of a sudden a girlfriend or a boyfriend shows up out of nowhere. Meanwhile, they just lost their wife a couple of months ago. This is not a new thing. It almost happened to me, and it might again. And let me just say again for the record, I do not consent, and the people who do this are utter trash.